Today on Public Eye News, the Michigan DNR announces funds for deer habitat improvement. But first, the widespread winter storm affects flights all across the nation.
Coming up, I will give you your weather forecast. We'll take a look at conditions for today and days to come. And later, Public Eye's JT Demag takes a look at today's exciting sports updates. I'm Bianca Kroll.
And I'm Summer Sterrett. This is Public Eye News. The Upper Peninsula Deer Habitat Improvement Partnership grants application window is now open for 2026. The DHIPI is a program designed to increase the amount of natural habitat for deer on private property across the Upper Peninsula. This year, the program budget has been raised to $200,000. Grants can be awarded in any dollar amount between $5,000 and $25,000. The DHIPI is supported by the Deer Range Improvement Program. If you're interested in applying, the application package can be found on the official DNR website at michigan.gov/DNR grants. Project applications are due by Friday, March 6th, submitted either electronically or via postal mail, and selected applicants will be notified no later than Friday, March 27th. And Sunday, airlines saw the highest number of flight cancellations since the COVID pandemic, with over 11,400 flights canceled as threatening storm conditions swept across the nation, affecting nearly 180 million Americans. Many airlines like JetBlue canceled over 70% of flights, and 94%, equating to 326 flights in Philadelphia total, were canceled, disrupting some of the busiest airports across the country, even outside of the storm's range like Dallas-Fort Worth, as 1 to 2 feet of snow was expected ranging from Washington to New England states. If your flight was canceled, you're entitled to a full refund. For more information, visit your airline's website or customer service hotline for more details.
The Michigan Department of Transportation is taking public comments on a proposed temporary trail closure. This includes the decks of the I-75 bridges over Lake State Railroad and replacing the I-75 bridge over M72 in Grayling, Crawford County. This is only in a design phase, and the construction is set to start in 2028 and 2029 with closures for approximately 2 months. The project would invest in $18 million in bridge work for these areas. No feasible detour will be made for non-motorized traffic for the trail under the northbound and southbound I-75. Detours will help with motorized traffic onto the opposing side of I-75 while work is being done. Crossovers will be built in advance to prepare for the closure. Public input is open to everyone, and you can call 989-731-5090. And a study by the Michigan Association of State Universities, or MASU, has found that Michigan Tech and Michigan's public universities generated nearly $45 million in net new economic activity. Michigan universities as a whole have helped to support over 127,000 jobs statewide and contribute more than $7 million in state tax revenue. MASU has examined the economic effects of university operations, research activity, student spending, and alumni earnings. This has helped to reinforce the role of higher public education with the high return investment in Michigan's workforce. This study also found that Michigan public universities help graduates to earn nearly twice as much as those without a college degree. The study has shown the importance of research universities and how it has helped our economy. And if you sent any time-sensitive documents by mail, listen up. A change at the U.S. Postal Service could mean major adjustments for when you drop those in the mail. CBS Jared Hill has tips on how to make sure your mail arrives on time.
Mailing time-sensitive documents? Well, time is now even more of the essence. Days before the start of the new year, the U.S. Postal Service announced the date you drop mail in the mailbox may no longer be the date it's officially processed and postmarked.
How significant is this?
I think it's significant in a couple of ways.
Economist Elena Patel follows the Postal Service for the Brookings Institute.
People who are mailing things very close to deadlines should be even more aware of and maybe make changes.
USPS posted on its website, while we are not changing our postmarking practices, we have made adjustments to our transportation operations. The shift could have a big impact on people who pay bills, vote, or file their taxes through the mail.
Anything that's getting mailed to a government agency should be sent hand-stamped, registered mail, return receipt requested.
The National Society of Tax Professionals is echoing the recommendation from USPS. Mail documents a few days early or go inside the post office and get the date stamped at the counter, what's called a manual postmark. The adjustment is part of the agency's 10-year plan to cut costs and restore profitability, concentrating processing work in larger regional hubs with new high-speed sorting machines.
All postal operators are basically trying to reimagine a business model that for the last 250 years has been, pretty stable. It's only since 2007 that things have gone awry.
Forging a future for service shifted by technology. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Now don't touch that dial. Our very own Bianca Kroll has your weather forecast when we come back.
As a film editor, every little detail on the screen is important to me. And then after decades, the ophthalmologist said, "You're losing your central vision." My sight. There's no cure. I can't give up this trying to see. Who am I without the visual world?
Vivian's Wild Ride, Monday, January 26th on PBS and the PBS app.
And welcome back to Public Eye News. I'm Bianca Kroll, and here's our weather forecast for today. Looking at the campus cam behind me on campus, as you can see, the sun has gone down just a little bit, and it looks like this snow is definitely here to stay. Now moving into the map of the Upper Peninsula, starting off in Houghton, it is 3 degrees and mostly sunny. In Ironwood, it is -1 with some snowy conditions. Iron Mountain is 40 with some cloudy conditions, and in Menominee, it is 5 and partly sunny. Now if we're taking a look at the other side of the map here, in Escanaba, those same conditions continue with the temperature of 9. Also in Manistique, the same conditions and the temperature of 12. In Sault Ste. Marie, it is 13 and snowy. And back here in Marquette, it is 5 degrees and mostly sunny. If we take a further look into those current conditions, the winds are southwest at 7 miles per hour, and our barometric pressure is 29.93 inches and falling. Now if we're looking into tonight's conditions, we're going to see some snow showers with the low of 2, the wind southwest at 15 miles per hour, and our moon phase is going to be waxing gibbous. And if we're looking into tomorrow, we're going to have some partly cloudy skies with a high of 10, a low of 2, and the winds northwest at 15 miles per hour. And if we're going to head into the week here, on Wednesday, we're going to have a high of 10 with some partly sunny skies and a low of 2. On Thursday, a high of 11 with some mostly sunny skies and a low of 7. And those conditions continuing on to Friday with a high of 17 and a low of 7. That's all I have for weather. Now back to the desk.
Thanks for that weather update, Bianca. Now let's move into some statewide news. Michigan has received a $750,000 grant to preserve historic projects across the state in small towns and rural communities. The grant has been awarded to the Michigan State Preservation Office of the Michigan Strategic Fund from the Historic Preservation Fund administered by the National Park Service. The money will be used to grant applicants with funding to restore historic buildings within the communities in order to develop and invest in preserving the history. The applicants are anticipated to open this spring, and program guidelines will be available before winter's end. For more information, please visit myplace.org/historic preservation. On Sunday in Maine at Bangor International Airport, a private business jet crashed, killing 7 people and leaving 1 survivor. The crash is now being investigated by the Federal Aviation Administration and the National Safety Board. The plane crashed upon its departure and then experienced a post-crash fire. Air traffic control audio states the plane was at one point upside down. The snowfall reached up to 10 inches on Sunday, but had only just begun accumulating at the time of the crash, while the wind was up to 10 miles per hour. Conditions were not unusual, and air traffic control responds similarly regularly. The Bangor International Airport was closed after the flight and will remain so until at least Wednesday. The condition of the survivor is still unknown, awaiting information released from local authorities. One day after an ICU nurse was gunned down by ICE agents in the streets of Minneapolis, Minnesota, leaders and federal government officials remain at odds over who is responsible for the shooting. CBS's News' Lena Zach in Minneapolis with the latest.
One day after 37-year-old ICU nurse Alex Preddy was shot and killed by ICE agents on the streets of Minneapolis, Minnesota officials say they're at a breaking point.
People have had enough.
On Sunday's Face the Nation, Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara described the frustration of the people of Minnesota in the wake of the shootings of Preddy and Minneapolis resident Renee Good.
This is the 3rd shooting now in less than 3 weeks. The Minneapolis Police Department went the entire year last year recovering about 900 guns from the street, arresting hundreds and hundreds of violent offenders, and we didn't shoot anyone. This is not sustainable.
But during a Sunday press conference, Border Patrol Commander-at-Large Greg Bovino defended the actions of ICE agents.
Our Title VIII immigration mission continues unabated here in Minneapolis. despite yesterday's tragedy that was preventable by folks making better choices, politicians, journalists, and would-be anarchists and rioters.
Governor Tim Walz held a press conference later on Sunday asking the public which side of the Preddy case they choose to be on.
I've got a question for all of you. What side do you want to be on? The side of an all-powerful federal government that can kill, injure, menace, and kidnap its citizens off the streets? Or on the side of a nurse at the VA hospital who died bearing witness to such government?
Preddy's parents spoke out about their son on social media, calling him a hero and maintaining he was not holding a gun at the time of the shooting. Lana Zach, CBS News, Minneapolis.
And after this break, JT will be back with NMU Sports and the upcoming Super Bowl. Stay tuned.
The story of Caesar, most extraordinary political story in Western history.
Julius Caesar is the most dangerous kind of demagogue.
He's immoral, he's irreligious, he wants to rule Rome.
Step by step, Caesar is being corrupted by this power he's got.
Democracy has to be fought for. If we take it for granted, a new Caesar will come.
Tonight at 9 on WNMU TV.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. I'm JT Demag, here to break down today's sports. Starting on the gridiron, where the stage is set in the hunt for the Lombardi Trophy. Super Bowl 60 will feature Drake May, and his New England Patriots against Sam Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks, as both quarterbacks are set to make their Super Bowl debut. In a game that was believed to be a defensive showcase between the AFC's top teams, New England outlasted the Denver Broncos 10-7 in a snow-filled Denver stadium. On the NFC side, Seattle faced off against their NFC West rivals, Los Angeles Rams, winning a track race 31-27. Super Bowl 60 will also be a rematch of the 2016 Super Bowl, where the Patriots defeated the Seahawks thanks to a last-second Malcolm Butler goal line interception, still leaving Seahawks fans wondering what would have happened if they had run the ball with Marshawn Lynch. And moving over to the floor, where the East-leading Detroit Pistons steamrolled the Sacramento Kings 139-116. Cade Cunningham proved why he picked up the most All-Star player votes, stacking up an impressive 29 points and 11 assists, while shooting 59% from the field. Jalen Duran continued to make his presence felt, missing just one of his shots, picking up 18 points. Detroit outscored the Kings 43-30 in the third quarter, en route to their 5th win in 6 games, comfortably sitting 5.5 games above the Boston Celtics for first place in the Eastern Conference. Detroit will head to Denver to face the Nuggets tomorrow night. And moving on to the slopes, where the NMU Alpine ski team dominated at Giants Ridge, despite the feels-like temperatures in the -20s. The Cats competed in the Giant Slalom and the regular slalom events, with both men's and women's teams sweeping the podiums. For the women, Kaylee Byrne and Tommy Springer tied for first, with each posting a combined result of 1 minute and 4.13 seconds. Annalie Wallace earned bronze with a combined time of 1 minute and 4.35 seconds. And for the men, Anthony Petkov earned gold with a combined time of 1 minute, 0.82 seconds. Eli Heathman earned silver, posting a combined time of 1 minute, 0.96 seconds, just 0.01 seconds faster than bronze medalist, his older brother, Reed Heathman. That's all I have for sports. Now back to the desk.
Thanks for that sports update, JT. I'm kind of sad the Chicago Bears fell out of the Super Bowl, but I do hear you have a couple more stories for us.
Well, yes. If you recently heard, there was a robbery in Manistee at a convenience store, which is very odd to me. How do you feel about that?
I think people need to just stop stealing.
I agree.
Anyway, that's all the time we have for Public Eye News today. I'm Summer Starrett.
And I'm Bianca Kroll.
We'll see you next time.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.